to the republic for which it stands,
one nation, under God,
indivisible,
with liberty and justice for all.
Guns, self-defense, conceal carry. This is the Patriot Defense Podcast. From the war room in Idaho's high desert, here's your host, Todd Echols.
Here we are, tucked away in the war room in the high desert of southern Idaho. And it's like 1 o'clock in the afternoon today. It's pretty damn early for us. It's got to be 1 o'clock, right?
It's past 1, but yeah, almost 2.
Close enough.
Close enough. Daylight savings time.
I noticed this. We had a class this morning. I noticed when we started to shoot at 8 o'clock that you can tell the seasons are changing because that sun used to be up a little higher at 8 o'clock, and now it's like shining right in your eyes.
Bring it on.
Your rooster's crowing at 1:30.
My damn rooster crows all day. He might get killed with the turkeys for Thanksgiving dinner. I haven't decided yet.
Heck yeah.
So anyhow, today we've got Mark is joining us, and Mr. Kevin Tarver is joining us again, and Dean was grounded again. So I don't know what he does during the week, but he gets grounded an awful lot on Saturdays. So me and Mark just got done with a class. That was good. That's what I've done that was Second Amendment related. Besides go through Facebook and read all the Nike memes made for the firearms.
Yeah.
So what have you done this week that has been Second Amendment related, Mr. Mark?
Well, we did the class. I did get a shoot today.
Yes.
After the class, because I got a new pistol.
What'd you get?
I got the Canik TP9, which I drug my feet on. Didn't want to do it. Didn't want to buy this Turkish,
good
handgun.
gun.
I understand the feeling.
And I just felt wrong about doing it, but it's a shooter.
You pick it up and it feels cheap, but the thing shoots like nobody's business. I mean,
Yeah.
We both picked it up and we're holding groups like this, and we never shot the gun before. It was crazy. It's a shooter.
It's a shooter.
We shot that, and we shot your SIG,
Mm-hmm.
and I shot better with the freaking Canik than I did the SIG.
Yeah.
So I shot better with the. How much did you spend on it?
Well, I spent a lot less than most people do because I get a discount on
Without the discount, what would you?
$410 is what it sells for.
So I shot better with that gun than I did like an $800 SIG, right?
Yeah.
That's full size.
Yeah.
Full size.
Full frame, yeah. 18 rounds.
And it's not it's not ugly. It's not too bad to look at, really.
Comes with a, nice holster. It's kind of like a Serpa holster. Has the little button you push.
Sure.
Paddle holster, speed loader, 2 magazines, a nice big case, and comes with a lot of stuff.
And it'll shoot. You said you shot like 4 boxes of steel through it too, didn't you?
Four full mags of steel.
So there you go.
Yeah, and it ran through them just fine. Steel casing,
I was actually quite impressed with that. So
Yeah.
You said you had a buddy of yours that bought a CZ,
Yes.
and you were thinking, where we were talking, and I was thinking of bringing the Canik and the CZ over before one of the podcasts and letting everyone shoot them and then kind of compare and contrast a little bit.
So, yeah, he bought the CZ P10 compact. Nice gun. I think it feels kind of cheap also. The magazine's, really plasticky and
Right.
I don't know. The triggers, it's a good trigger on the CZ, but it creeps a little bit.
So the CZ, where does it? Is it? That's a Czech gun, or what is that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's what I thought. So
Yeah, CZ's usually pretty good product though. I mean, they put out a pretty good gun.
they're popular. I've had some come through class. Classes that you see more commonplace type guns. What CZ's been? They make freaking rifles too, don't they?
Yeah, they make some beautiful rifles actually. Some really good shooting ones too.
Well, that's good.
How's the sights on that Canik?
They're a little different. It's got a 3-dot sight, and then there's like a little line right in the middle of the rear sight.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't really pay attention too much to it, but
I think that's
seems
just
to
what
shoot really well.
help you just center that front
Right.
dot is all it's for.
Yeah, and I did one-handed with my strong hand, but 5-shot group, and I think only one wasn't touching. The rest of them were all touching. You did the same thing.
Yeah, I did the same thing. Left hand was actually I shot left hand, freaking awesome with that gun.
Yeah. So
But-
I was pretty impressed with it.
We'll have to we'll pull it out for a few minutes. Have you shoot it before after the podcast.
Yeah, I definitely want to take a look at it, but I need to scoot. I didn't realize it was already 2 o'clock, man.
Oh, we're hurrying, man. We're
No. It's no rush.
We're hurrying. I know you got crap to do, work to do. You
I
should have
do.
done it yesterday.
I should have, but I don't do things like that because I could have done it today. So I put it off.
So what have you done Second Amendment related? Anything?
I am actually looking at the eye target. I was looking at. I can't remember the one. I was trying to think of the one that you were talking
yeah,
about.
we were supposed to set that up so you could play with it today too, and I forgot.
Oh well.
But
yeah,
the Mantis.
the Mantis.
It's up there.
I'm thinking. Have you looked at the eye target?
Is that the one where it's like an electronic target you hang on the wall? Is that what it is?
It's. I think you can hang it on the wall. It's a little electronic target. You set your phone in the little tray up in front of it, and it just has the laser round.
There's one that's a target ties, and it's kind of like that. It attaches to the rail, and then it senses any movement of the gun, and then it displays it on your phone.
So it
Yeah,
shows
it's
you
kinda
how
like
you're
the
moving
Mantis.
the gun or where the
Yeah.
shots are placed.
Kind of. It'll actually sense because it's got kind of a gyro deal to it. So
Right.
it'll actually sense if you've pulled right or dipped or
Right. Because I know the Mantis, what it'll do is it's got a little thing. You hook on the rail of your gun, you point it at like any bullseye target or whatever, and it can actually show you where you start, and then as you pull the trigger, if the gun moves, it'll show it one color, and when you pull the trigger, it changes colors, show you where you hit, and then afterwards, it'll show you where you move the gun, so you can actually
track your movement.
Wow,
movement.
that's a lot more detailed than the eye
It's
target.
really cool. I'll give you that printout on it. You can take a look at it. It's pretty impressive. You can definitely see what you're doing, and you can use it for dry fire and live fire.
Mm-hmm.
So it's.
I know that target ties deal you can too.
Okay, yeah.
But I don't know that it tracks your movement like that.
Yeah, next time you have more time, I'll get it out. You have to play with it if you haven't bought one already.
I think we've got.
Well, I
one
think
on
I just
closeout.
got talked out of the eye target.
A Mantis?
No, target ties one, but
Oh,
I think we got one on closeout right now at D&B. But
huh. I know.
Well, it sounds like the same setup.
kind of, I think it is.
It might be. I mean, I'm sure they're somewhat similar. I mean, Glock is similar to Smith & Wesson, and Smith & Wesson is similar to SIG. It's the same damn thing.
Okay, well, what are they going for?
I can't I don't know. I know it's on closeout though because it's right in our case where we have the closeout stuff. So
Huh. Well,
Might have to swing by there.
pick it up. Pick up a new toy. So, what'd you think about the class today?
we did. I always jump in on the second,
Right.
the middle women's class, which are primarily holster, draw from a holster, reholster, stuff like that.
The scary class.
The scary class because it's not an easy one.
It's the most dangerous
Yeah.
class, I guess.
Yeah.
And one of the gals was in the last class that we did.
Yeah.
And this class I think was definitely a little more nervous than the last one.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Which is okay because we don't want any negligent, discharge
Anything,
or anything. But I don't know. I think the last class went a little more,
Went a little quicker.
a little quicker, a
smoother.
little smoother. Yeah, this one was a little bit. You could tell everybody was nervous.
They're a little nervous, a little more hesitant.
Right.
I mean, I heard one gal said, "Hey, when are we going to get back to just shooting?" So some of these women may or may not actually carry, the firearm around in a holster, and that's fine. They were definitely careful. I like that. We were talking after the class. There's a definite distinction. So if you and me were to go take a class somewhere, or a gun guy or Tarver or anyone were to go take a class somewhere, and they said, "Bring a holster, we're going to learn how to draw," we'd know what holsters to take, right? We'd have a decent holster. So in this
Yeah.
class, you get, and I don't want to require someone to go out and buy this specific type of holster, so they show up with whatever.
Yeah, it's kind of a plethora. It's just a hodgepodge of just random holsters, and some of them had 2-3 holsters. They had the belly bands.
It'll fit in one of them.
You know, I'm surprised somebody'd bring a sock to just stick it in a sock or something. But
So I mean, the holsters, they're going and they're getting what they know. Okay, so they don't know about holsters, so we have to teach them about holsters when they're here.
They're probably getting cheap.
They are. I'm sure they are.
Go get cheap.
So I don't come out and tell someone, "Hey, that holster sucks."
Right.
Okay, they have to learn that on their own, and I think everyone has a pretty good idea whether or not they've got a decent holster by the time the class is over. In fact, most of them, even though if they just bought the holster maybe last week, are like, "Oh man, I need a different holster. This one scares me."
I've got them in my bag right now, but usually I have a stack of holsters on top of my safe because I always check new ones. I'm always like, well, I kind of like that one better. So
Right.
I always buy a new one.
In search for the perfect holster.
Yeah, and it's really, I think it's going to be a never-ending battle, really, because.
Well, I think there's going to be a few of them that go out and buy some good holsters.
Yeah.
But I guess we just take it for granted. We do a lot of reading, a lot of studying. I mean, we live this stuff,
Right.
so we know what to get.
This is pretty much my everyday
Right.
job is dealing with firearms and holsters and stuff.
So we had some holsters that were, they aren't stiff at the mouth, and they're in the waistband, so they're like pancake flat, and they're trying to like
Marshall
reholster.
Dillon's old
Well,
holster.
and you got, you're not wearing if you're not wearing the proper belt and
Right.
your pants aren't 2 sizes too big or something. It's just kind
you're
of
never getting that gun in.
no, and they're like, I can't get my hand around. Well, that comes when you get the gun out of the holster.
Yeah, and I wanted to start
So-
talking to him about getting a holster where it was like combat cut, and I was
Right.
like, it's probably
That's going way over their head.
way over their head. But I don't know. What's your favorite holster, Mark?
I like the Serpa ones because they lock in and they're easy to just push that button and then it releases. But I don't always want to be carrying outside the waist like that.
And they're kind of bulky.
They are bulky.
Yeah.
And they, they're, if you don't get them just right, they do jab you. I'd have to say the Blade Tech that I wear with my shield, I think is my favorite.
I've got a few, and I mean, obviously, I like the one I appendix carry with, but the ones I really fall back on are the I like the crossbreed, Super Tux, and I don't always wear it now just because I'm really into that appendix carry, but I love that crossbreed and a good belly band holster for like church or something like that. It's easy to stash a small gun in. Just put it right around your middle, kind of right under your like waistband of your pants.
Works
great.
One of the gals actually asked me about the shirts, like the 511
Sure.
shirts with the pocket in them. And they're okay if you're wanting to just carry it, but getting into it, if you're wearing that as an undershirt, you're not going to get to it very easily.
Well, it depends too, because you got these big pockets, and you drop like a freaking DB9 in there or something. You're gonna be like searching.
Yeah,
around
you're going to be
for
digging
it.
around for it.
Where is that? Yeah, I got a bad itch.
And maybe it rotated on you, and you're going to stick your finger right in the barrel or in the trigger or something.
Fantastic. So I know we've talked about holsters before. I don't want to leave you out, Tarver, but what kind of? I mean, you carry like a pocket carry type stuff, don't you?
Most of the time I wind up doing. I mean, I have
Right.
holsters, just a basket of holsters, and I go through them, and I have a couple that I like outside the waistband, but for the most part, I wind up just sticking it in a little leather holster and throwing it in my back pocket.
Yeah. That's
just what I wind up doing.
And that works for you and your lifestyle and what you do. And these people just got to, they just got to learn what works for them, and they will over time. If they really want to carry a firearm, they will figure out what works for them, and that's what they'll do. Hopefully, I need to get that one gal information on that Rock's custom holsters.
Oh yeah,
and she's going to look into something like that. She really wants to find something that works well for her.
Mm-hmm.
So
I'm still in search of the perfect gun. I got hundreds of holsters, and I'm like,
VP9.
Maybe.
You shot it. Me and did you listen to last week's show?
No, I saw. It came up on my feed.
Me and
then I
Tarver
never-
did a little class. We had a little shooting class.
We did. Been a long time. It's been so long since I've been shooting, and it's like,
Now I'm gonna go
wow,
home
just
and
got to
read-
brush
I'm
up
gonna-
on all
I'm
the.
gonna do it now. I'm gonna go home after this.
You
And,
can go listen to it.
yeah,
But
just so I can hear Tarver then.
he shot the VP9. He liked it.
Yeah,
Yeah, I did like it.
I like mine. Dan. Dan has one. You
Yeah.
have one. I have one. It's
They're good guys.
Eric at the gun counter. So three of us at the gun counter at DMB have one. So
But what do you carry?
I don't carry the VP9.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yeah,
So it's
one
not
of
good
my-
enough for you to carry.
It's one of my range guns. You know what I did find with the VP9 though is if you're shooting a pistol at a long distance, that VP9 is the way to go.
You can just shoot it more accurate,
It's
or what?
more accurate than any of my other ones that at a longer,
Really?
like 30 yards or whatever. If you're wanting to shoot a long distance, yeah. That
Do you guys
VP9 is
carry
the way
that?
to go. Yeah. Well, right now we're out of it, but we normally do. But yeah,
VP9.
I'm starting to. Yeah, I'm really.
fully customized. It's got like 30 some different grip positions you can do on it. I mean, you can fully customize the grip on it.
Oh man, that's horrible. It'll take me months.
Yeah, it only took me like when you pick it up, the setup that it comes with, you're just like, man, this feels awesome. It fits your hand so well. I found when I'm shooting it, it's a different story.
Right.
I changed out the back strap, and I think I changed the side straps too, but to the smaller ones. I found shooting it, I was better with the smaller ones than what it came with.
Right.
Didn't feel quite as good just holding it though.
So that brings up a good point, and something I noticed was kind of weird for a long time. I don't have monster hands, but I don't have little hands either.
Right.
And I used to tell everyone, "Oh, I like a gun with nice wide grip, something for my hands to." And I started buying these firearms where you could interchange the palm swells and the back straps, and I actually started shooting better when I put the small ones on.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
It's but I hate a really small gun. I can't stand. But
Yeah.
here I am touting how I like big. I don't. Well, my shooting says I don't.
Right. Like I like the way they feel. Don't get me wrong. When
Feels
you're
your
holding
hand
it,
up. Yeah, it's
you're,
nice.
you're holding it. You're like, man, I've really got a hold of this thing. But I just found that when I'm shooting them, I don't shoot as well. So
Well, and then here we go. Let's talk about the other one we shot. That's going to have a. If anyone's listening to this podcast, I'll look over here. So we're not doing Facebook Live today because Facebook Live is not being agreeable. I keep wanting to look and check out the comments.
We're being shadow banned.
I'm being shadow banned.
They're out to get us.
Did you get put in Facebook jail?
I haven't yet.
Oh, okay.
The
That's
man
good.
is
You
coming
don't
down
wanna
on
be.
us.
Apparently, it's
So-
the end of your career if you Facebook jail.
No, I'll post under my wife's name or something. So no, we shot the SIG. It was a P3.
P320 compact.
You know what? I'm not a fan. I have never been a fan of SIGs, and I'm just not a fan of that gun.
It was
What
one of
was
those
it?
guns that I felt like I should just have it, just because.
P320 compact.
Okay.
And so, I bought it thinking, man, I really got to have
Is that
this
the
gun.
military one?
That's pretty much. This is the compact version, but
Oh,
that's what the military went with. Yeah,
I lost all faith in the military if they went with that.
Yeah,
So you don't have the keychain.
The 19X was by far a better option than the 320. But
The 320 it's boxy and it just feels clunky.
I
in
like
your
the
hand.
320. It takes apart real easy. It was one gun that I'm like, man, I really got to have this. It's totally modular. You can switch it all out. Serial numbers on the trigger mechanism, so you can take that and put it in.
I could switch it out for a VP9.
Yeah. Well, I just found now that I've been shooting it for, what have I had it for a year or two? I don't know. I don't shoot it as well as I do my other guns.
Well, I
So-
can group really well, but
But you're shooting low.
I'm shooting a little like a half inch to an inch low.
Yeah. And it's consistent.
But it just feels like crap in my hand, and it's just big and clunky. And to me, the trigger feels like, I don't know, just kind of mushy and
Yeah, it's really
big.
weird.
And
It's
clunky
there.
is the word.
It's just there, and it just kind of like when you pull it, it just turns to mush.
You
So-
can't find any like definition in it, I guess.
Right.
I don't know. Not a fan.
Yeah. I don't think the sales will be going up for anybody listening to this.
Have you shot one?
I have not. I own a few SIGs, but
He's got one.
Yeah,
in
I've
his
got
bag.
one of those too. If you want to shoot it, so
yeah, well, I've got a few. Well, you hear the hype. You hear, you got the Glock guys, you got the SIG guys, you got it's like you don't know until you can go shoot it, and you have to go buy it to go shoot it. So I have ton of guns. To take it out, shoot it, put a mag through it. And I'm like, that's not the one.
Yeah. So, I don't know. It's kind of interesting. Shot some new guns today, but I'm not a SIG fan. Never going to be. Never have been. I don't think I'm ever going to be.
I never was. And I started working at the gun counter. And I thought, to be objective, to be kind of like, to give people my info on it, I really should get one.
Right.
To tell them that, yes, I've shot it and I've, to have a little bit of experience with it. But I never have been a SIG fan. And if I part with this one, I won't be crying about it.
I think you should hold on to it and you trade it out for a PD10 when they come out.
if they come out.
They'll come out, damn it.
I haven't seen any pictures of Sasquatch in a while. I hope he's doing okay, too.
I've joined a Facebook page. I've seen lots of pictures.
Okay.
So.
That's a shame. I had a chance to get rid of my SIG, and I didn't. And you'll hate me if I tell you the deal.
Well, tell me the deal.
Which guy offered me an old school El Camino.
Really?
For a SIG.
Like what kind of body? Old school.
I never even went and looked at it.
Oh.
It's just El Camino. He's like, there's no rust. Motor runs good. It's not, souped up or anything. It's, you're not getting a $100,000 car here.
Yeah.
But it runs, and it's not rusted, and there you go. And stupid, man. I should have traded that out.
You've been hot rodding all over town on that.
I was right here in Twin Falls.
Really? Oh, man. You should have done it. Now he's not going to want that SIG anymore.
He was stupid to even make the deal. I'm like, what kind of deal is that?
Shoulda, coulda, woulda.
I didn't even go look at it. I should have looked at it. It had to be something wrong with
probably
it.
stolen.
Yeah, probably dead bodies in the back or something. Something had to be wrong. I'm like, it's too good to be true.
You
Get
can
out
put
of
quite
here.
a few dead bodies in the back of an El Camino.
Yeah.
You can. Yeah, you can. So, I got a question.
Uh-oh.
Not that I've ever
Shot
put
show. What?
not that I've ever put dead bodies
Yeah,
back of an El Camino.
Oh, no.
Backwoods in the swamp of Louisiana. Never find you.
So, shot show, huh?
Shot show. It's going to be happening sooner than later. It's coming up. It's in January. Has there been talk of shot show around D&B Supply yet at all?
I don't know. Jerry went last year, and I'd really like to go, but at the same time, I've never been to Vegas.
I think you
So
and
I'd
me need to go to
probably-
shot show.
I'd probably get lost.
You and me need to go to shot show.
You can't really get lost in Vegas. It's the Strip. That's it.
So I'm still waiting for my invite because I put in to be approved, and I've yet to be approved. I've been doing this for like 4 or 5 years now, and I got to get on and look around and see if I'm going to be able to go.
I would say,
if I haven't heard anything yet,
instead of going to SHOT Show, if you could just hit the range day, like SIG range day.
Right. I want to go to SHOT Show.
I heard the range day is where it's at, though.
SIG's not going to invite me to their range day. Did you just hear my freaking
Just trashed
Yeah.
them.
I just trashed their
Garbage.
I just trashed their big gun that they just came out with.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just SIG sponsors it, but everybody's there. All the different manufacturers. Everybody brought their chassis rifles and their...
Everybody but Todd.
All the big manufacturers, Winchester and all those guys, everybody had a chassis rifle at SHOT Show, apparently. The SIG had their 365 and all that stuff there that you could shoot, their P20 or 220s and whatnot.
We got ghosts in here. Big
Yeah.
big rat in the drawer.
Did you lock it up in the ammo can?
I'm not sure.
No, I heard that the range day is the cool part because you actually get to shoot some of the guns and stuff. So
Now I'm sad. Oh well, if I don't get to go, that gives us a whole episode where I can, at least for 2 weeks, I can bitch about not going to SHOT Show.
that's the bad thing is you can't just go crash it. You have to have an invite.
But it's good podcast content.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that'd be awesome.
So, well, guys, I actually forgot when we first started the show, we actually have a couple call-ins actually, and we have
Sending pizza to your house?
Sending pizza to my house. Yeah. No, our buddy Josh from Napa.
Oh, right on.
I think it's Napa Meridian. Is he from Napa?
Somewhere up in the Boise area.
Yeah, he called in with he visited his dad a couple weeks ago, and his dad lives over in Spokane, and his dad was telling him some self-defense stories that had happened to him in the past. So I think we will take a listen to those.
Hey guys, it's Josh. Hey, I've got a couple of scenarios here I kind of want to go over with you. They actually happened to my dad. First one, this happened, years and years ago. I was still a little kid, so, we're probably pushing 30 something years. Anyways, he's a doctor, a psychologist, and he had a patient with some real mental issues. And one day that patient showed up in his office and demanded to see him, and the receptionist, called Dad, and he said, yeah, let him in. So the guy, came in with the receptionist, and he had a duffel bag with him. Well, in the duffel bag, he had a Mini 14 rifle. And he started going on about how, hey, this isn't helping me. Your counseling isn't fixing things. I want this, but, you're counseling me and it's not working right. And it turned into a pretty tense situation. It lasted quite a few hours. And, during this whole time, my dad was at a point where, he had guns, but he did not carry a gun every day. And, it was pretty tense and really, really, worried him. I mean, the guy pointed a rifle at he and his receptionist multiple times. And I remember my dad, kind of talking to me about it, I was a little bit older. He's like, man, there were multiple times when, he was talking and so distracted. He goes, if I had a gun, he goes, I could have ended the situation right there because the guy was so distracted. But I didn't really, he was like, I have a gun. I didn't know what to do. And so we had to talk him down and talk about it and get everything kind of handled. And so I figured I'd present that to you guys, and maybe you guys can, talk about it and everything and go over everything and kind of come up with some ideas or, what you guys would have done. Anyways, hey, love listening to the show. We'll talk to you later. Bye.
There we go. That was our good friend Josh from Napa. And he called in with he's actually called in twice. We'll listen to the next one next week. This call was a situation that his dad, who was a doctor, was put in a long time ago. A situation where a patient came to his office, had a firearm with him. A situation that made his dad think that it might be wise to think about self-defense of some kind. It might be wise to carry a firearm with him, just in that situation or that scenario that you might find yourself in, where you could need one. It's better to to have one when you need it. So what was your take on that, Mark?
I'm curious to as to is he a psychiatrist or like a
something like that, counselor or something.
So that's got to be really difficult because you're trying to help people, and I don't know. Sometimes if they're having mental issues, they don't always know that you're trying to help them,
right?
Or they don't fathom it, I guess.
Well, it's hard to tell what you're working with at
right.
that point.
So it's one of those things where be prepared for the worst. Even though you don't necessarily want to be, you really need to be.
Sure. Because you're already dealing with people that are possibly unstable.
Right. Yeah, and it goes back to that saying. It's better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it.
There's that saying I was looking for. I kind of tried to butcher that a little while
yeah,
ago.
It's kind of a, you hope to God that you never have to use a firearm. But if you're fearing for your life, and it's you or them, that's what it comes down to.
Yeah,
you got to do what you got to do.
So, what about you, Mr. Tarver, over there being all quiet today?
Well, once again, you want all the tools available. I mean,
Exactly.
You're ready for it. I worked for a few years in a hospital for the criminally insane, and it was, quite a
ride.
Quite a ride. And you do all the crisis prevention intervention stuff, and we would get these college professors and stuff come in, and people doing their the kids coming in doing what do you call it?
The intern.
The intern, and they'd come in there, and we were ogres and beasts, and they didn't want to deal with us, and they would go in the room and talk to these poor misunderstood creatures.
Fix it with love
and close the door. And they did not care. Some of them did not care for us. Well, after a couple of good instances, I was a favorite around town there for a little while. They wanted to go everywhere with me. So you can talk them down a lot of times. You can, I guess, toy with their head. You can lead them where you want them to go. But sometimes they just snap, and you need to have that it's always good to have that backup. If you can get them, especially when they're armed,
Yeah.
as soon as you get the chance, I'm sorry, brother, your session's done. It's time to it's time to go.
The guy took a Mini 14 in
A
there.
Mini 14.
That's I mean that's a pretty serious firearm. It's nothing to joke around about.
Yeah. So you got to, that's why we carry, right? We never know when we're going to need it, but we know that there may be an instance where we need it. And
Yeah. God forbid you ever need it, but
we damn sure want to have it.
yeah.
Well, with a Mini 14, if you had something, you got a lot of chances. You close that gap where you in on him, and handguns way to go.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
just eat
Especially
him
in a closed, quarters environment like an office or.
Oh,
up.
right.
And if he's talking,
Yeah.
I mean, if he comes in shooting, there's nothing you can do.
Yeah.
That's a crazy situation. But thanks for the call, Josh. We enjoy hearing those self-defense stories, and I think we're going to have kind of a short show today, but it's better than no show at all, right?
Yes, absolutely.
You had to think on that.
We were gonna. Well, yeah.
Did we leave something out?
the chop off your head?
Oh, yeah. Well, you guys got to steer me, man.
Sorry.
I deal in pesticides during the week. I don't.
You can do it.
It's right. So tell us about that story.
Apparently, from what I understand, the where it said is that the guy tried to cut his neighbor's head off.
It happens
because
It was local
because
too.
he didn't watch his place while he was away on vacation or something, and something he thought got stolen. I don't know. Anyway,
Real high standards for a neighbor, man.
Yeah, the neighbor said, "Well, I would have cut his head off, except for he stuck his arm up to defend himself, and so I cut his arm instead." Well, yeah, I mean, nobody's gonna let you cut their head off, But
Won't
anyway,
still limit it.
yeah, it's gonna. But that's a little extreme. I mean, why would you admit to wanting to cut their head off?
Oh, so you never know what's going to happen.
Oh,
I
yeah,
don't
it's
know
crazy.
the guy personally. I would imagine the guy's probably looking for a free meal and a warm cot.
Yeah, a place to stay.
Mhm.
Yeah. So that's three hots and a cot is
Yeah.
probably what they're after.
I get tired of the rat race myself, but
You ever gonna
I don't think I'm going that route.
you go to your neighbor's house? I got this machete here. Let me shave the back of your neck a little
Yeah.
bit.
We'll use these hedge trimmers on you.
Did he say what he wanted to use?
I don't know.
That's what I'm curious about. Was he just crazy
I
with a
consider
pocket knife?
I can imagine him with these big like loppers, like these just. That's why I
Chasing the guy
Imagine
through the
him.
front yard.
yeah, I'm imagining that. That's what I'm seeing in this
That's
story.
awesome.
Now, what was the age of this guy? He was an older guy,
I
right?
think he was an older guy.
Yeah,
Like
got
60 or something.
He's got to be in
yeah.
his 60s, I think. It's got to be.
Your head cutting days are over, brother.
Maybe maybe you want to take up a new profession as a barber.
Who knows? Edward Scissorhands.
Yeah. But no, that's just that shows you how things in your own home. If you're out in your yard, your neighbor comes at you. You don't know.
Well, people are just nuts. So the show's going to be a little longer, folks, because all of a sudden Todd's remembering a bunch of stories. So I worked at Sherwin-Williams Paint Store here in Twin Falls for many, many years. I helped manage it.
Is that the one down on Second?
On Second.
I know, okay.
Yep. And there was right across the street,
Yep,
not across
I know
Second.
exactly where you're going with
Okay.
this.
There's some little apartments. There's like 6 or
Yep.
7 of them, and they used to put people that got they were weird. They got a little help from the state, a lot of help from the state. They would put them in these little shitty apartments,
Nice.
and there was I can think of there was a bunch of them, but 2 stand out to me. So I'd show up to work early. That's what I do. You know that, right, Tarver?
Yeah.
Yeah. Show up to work early, and we
I don't-
just got a brand new, it wasn't brand new, but we just got a Dodge Intrepid. That's back when those cars came out. And I drove my wife's car to work. And, it's kind of, when those came out, people were like, look at them, and, oh, that's crazy. Look at the design of that car, or whatever. So we pulled up. I pulled into the parking lot, and it's dark out there. And I was getting ready to get out, and I was gathering my stuff up. I turned to get out, and there was this guy looking in the driver's side window. He had his hands up against the window, and he's peering in. And I recognized him from the guy across. It just scared the shit out of me. And the guy must have been off his meds or something. So I open that door, and he's like, oh man, is this the new Camaro? I used to drive one of these. I used to race one of these, and he literally
took that from you, huh?
Yeah, he went around for like 15 minutes thinking it was a new Camaro, and he was a new guy that had moved in. We knew they're all a little off, and anyhow, I got him to go away, and I went back inside. A couple days later, he come over, and he came into the front of the store, and he was spouting off about how he was in this love triangle. And just spouting nonsense. And then I forgot what we called the guy. We had a special name for him. But then he started spouting off how he had a key. I have this key, and he whipped this big key out. He'd made out of like tinfoil.
Nice.
And he'd whip it out and go, I got a key. And there's basement. There's houses in this town. Yeah, there's houses. And there's a basement in all the houses. And I got the key for all the basements and all the houses. And anyhow, it was just off his freaking rocker. And then another guy moved in, and this guy liked to just come out and strut around the apartment building naked, no clothes on whatsoever.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so we were watching him.
What part of town is this?
It's 2nd Avenue, just down from Bickle School.
Okay. Wow.
And,
Oh, yeah, it is right there by the school.
Yeah, so
Wow.
we were concerned. This guy come out, and he was in the not a stitch of clothing on. He come out, and big wild red hair, red beard.
Of course. Why not?
Not a stitch of clothing on, and just freaking lily white everywhere. And he come out, and he's standing on the stoop, and he's like, he walked out to the freaking road to 2nd Avenue, and he's stretching, he's scratching his butt, and he just cars are zipping by, and this guy's naked as the day he was born. And so my buddy's like, I told the manager, freaking call the police, dude. School's going to be letting out in like 10 minutes. And so we called the police. And meanwhile, this guy went inside. And the cops showed up. And they were walking around the building. And this guy walked out the back door. And the cops were like, we don't know where he is. There's 2 guys, 2 male cops and a female. We don't know where he is. And I was like, well, he's over there somewhere. He didn't go far. He's freaking naked. And they were turning to leave, and about the time the guy comes walking around the corner of the building, it's just naked. And they had to cuff him and do all this other stuff. And the guy, they're like got gloves on. And,
Yeah. Thank God for tasers.
yeah, just I mean, the guy didn't fight him, but just crazy stuff like that. So
I know so many. I've heard so many calls being called out to that little strip of apartment.
one guy tried to burn his house down all the time because he'd leave his burner on.
I had to tackle a guy naked one time. I was like,
Oh, how was that? Tell us a
It
good
was
story,
horrifying.
The
Tarver.
guy was naked, or you were naked?
he was. Oh no, we were not mutually naked.
So you didn't get naked to tackle him, did you?
No, but it was a lot of times when guys they'd strip down, get naked, cover themselves with Vaseline. It's a prison thing. But this time, thank God, the dude didn't have that. It was
What kind of freaking prison was this?
no. You should see them fight. They're gladiators. They're fighting to the death kind of stuff.
Oh, wow.
And it was funny to watch some of that. But yeah, no, this guy was at the hospital for criminally insane, and he was just naked, and he had, I can't remember what weapon he had. I think it was a piece of plastic that was sharpened off one of the trays before they had the unbreakable ones, the food trays, and I got the chance. I tackled him, took him to the ground, and I was horrified. I'm like, if you pee on me, you're not gonna make it out of here. And it's disgusting.
That's nasty.
It's not a pleasant smell. And then you just go home and take a shower.
Yeah.
You have to
your
go
uniform.
home and take a shower?
You don't have to, but I told him I'm going home.
I mean, is there like a
that's-
locker room there for you guys or something?
No.
Wonderful.
Yeah, I would definitely be taking a shower. I'd feel all kinds
Yeah.
of nasty after that.
Oh, these guys taking all this Haldol and shuffling around, and you got to force them to shower. And yeah,
You're
he
like-
wasn't. I'm like just a BO. I'm like, bruh, ooh, shouldn't have told that story, but it just reminded me of it. Were you carrying at the time all this was happening?
I had a gun. It wasn't on me. I didn't actually carry on me at that time. I had my permit. but it was in the car or in my truck. I couldn't take it into the store with me. I wasn't allowed for employee reasons.
What they don't know.
I understand that now, and I'm of that mindset now. This was like 20 plus years ago.
Okay.
So it was a long time ago, and I've come to a different way of thinking since then. So let me ask you, I know we don't want to get any prison stories, but I just want to know this. What are some of the craziest weapons you saw made in prison?
Everything's a weapon.
Everything, but like you got them like breaking shit and sharpening stuff, and
one was you got the classics, the toothbrushes
shivs,
with the razor blades in it.
sure.
You got the spear guns. You got the one that was guy spent some time on was the chain link fences, those old ones people have around their houses now, not the security ones. Took I don't even know what you call it, the little ties that tie them to the pole.
Right.
Took that out, straightened it out, and sharpened the end of it, and had it in the back of a like a Sharpie marker, but it was one that you could pull the back off of, so it would write and everything. And if you pop it off, he had that. So that was.
So he always had it with him.
Yeah, and he spent some time with it.
So that was a pretty ingenious concealed weapon right there.
It wasn't too bad until I found it, and then no. But I mean, everything's a weapon, and not only that, you weapon them up. One guy, he went out to work, and we called it bar fighting. They would shout between the bars and all this stuff, and you're always getting them quiet, but they're bar fighting through the bars.
Right.
And one young kid, big young kid, but he didn't care for that too much. So, they went out, they were cutting grass, and he had a ditch bank blade, and he slapped the guy up from his jaw up through his ear and stuck it in his head. And, so real weapons, they got them. Sneaky weapons, you'll find stuff like that little fence thing. And, it's funny. The guy was shocked that we were charging him after he hit the guy with a ditch bank blade. I'm not doing that time. I'm like, brother, you ain't got no choice now.
You're already in here. It's pretty easy to get you to do more.
We sending you. Well, what scared him is, he was trying to get a reputation for himself. I'm like, congratulations, you got it. You going to Angola, brother. And none of them wanted to go to Angola.
Explain what Angola is.
It's Louisiana State Penitentiary. I worked there for a little while, too.
Feed people to the crocodiles?
Huh?
Feed people to the alligators?
You had to Google it. It's got a long history. They used to have a daily.
Dang, I'm gonna Google that now.
Yeah.
And way back, they used to have it was called America's Bloodiest Prison. At one time, they used to send out crews each morning to look under the dormitories to look for dead bodies.
Oh, geez.
Holy cow.
Because the dormitories set off the ground because
Yeah.
it's right by the river,
Yeah.
Mississippi River.
So if it flooded or something.
Yeah. Yeah, it was rough. That was before they had officers in the dormitories. They just locked the doors and good luck, brothers. And 95, 96% of them all have life sentences. They're never going to see the light of day. So you don't go in there trying to be tough. You don't.
So the guys that are in there, they don't. What do they got to lose?
They don't have
at
anything
this
to
point?
lose.
Yeah, what are you going to do?
They're just all about surviving.
Not going to get the death penalty for killing another inmate. What are you going to give me another 100 years? I got 500. Go for it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Spend a year in. Used to be Camp J, but I found out they just shut that down. Camp J was a rough place, but it was, interesting, man. Best rodeo in the world if they haven't ruined it. These guys, they got. I'm sorry, I'm going all over.
No. I'm finding. Are you finding this fascinating?
Yeah.
There's a final finale of the rodeo is called Guts and Glory. Now these guys are not professional rodeo guys,
And they don't care because what else are they going to do? They're going to die in prison anyway, right?
Not only that, you get to train. You get like, I don't know, it used to be like 3 or 4 months where you don't have to go work in the field. You don't have to do any of that. You eat better, you train, they want to put on a show. It's a money making thing.
Yeah.
And they have this final thing, this Guts and Glory, where they have this bull out there and they get a poker chip and with baling wire, they tie it down to its head. So between the horns. So it's not, flag football where it comes away. You got to get that thing off his head.
Oh my
And
gosh.
it is awesome and horrifying, and you never see nothing like it. And
So there people are fighting to get onto the bull to get the freaking poker chip.
and then
off.
they got to fight it off the bull while he's running over people, and it's a mess.
Oh
It's
my
a
gosh.
mess.
Oh my
and,
goodness.
and they have the
That's allowed?
yeah, that was the finale, and they do the cowboy poker. I think I've seen that
I was gonna
somewhere
say,
else
I've
by
seen
now.
cowboy poker
Yeah.
before, but
But when it first started, it was Angola, and it was funny because none of these guys are professional cowboys,
yeah.
and but they'd get out there and they'd work for it, and it was the most entertaining show ever.
Well, at least they got out and got to do something, instead.
They got to do something. They got to interact with people. There's a lot of free people at the rodeos, and
They probably thought it was fun too, because it's better than just sitting them rotting away in a jail cell or something.
not only that, you get known by the wardens and stuff. There's thousands of inmates in there. You get to talk to the warden, shake his hand. A warden can make a lot of difference in you getting out of there.
Yeah.
Unless you have
Wow.
800 years. So, yeah, but a lot of them, and they get to where they like it, and it's bragging rights, and it's their own little community. But anyway, it was a great rodeo. But it's an interesting prison.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
That's
it's
crazy.
Probably beats Twin Falls County rodeo.
Well, that would be like it's like a new part of Patriot Defense Podcast. It's like inside the prison, inside Angola with Kevin Tarver.
Let me tell you what's, and everybody acts like, I wasn't scared. Everybody's scared. When they first go into prison, all the inmates are scared, all the guards are scared. Everybody. When I first started, you walked into this dormitory, there's 65 inmates, and they locked the door behind you. Clang.
Oh, jeez.
And you can't get out. And if there's a problem, they're going to tell you, we're not letting you out. We're not opening this door. And when I first started at lights out, all the lights went out. It was pitch black. You couldn't see anything. You couldn't see.
And you're in there.
And you're in there, and you can't see nothing. And you could hear them hitting the ground and crawling to other beds and moving around.
Are they in
and stuff.
cells, though?
No, it's a dormitory.
Oh, that. Jeez.
So it was just bed
You're
to
waiting
bed
to
bed
get
bed
jumped,
bed.
aren't you?
You don't know what's coming, and if it's coming, you can't see it. And what's funny is the
hell.
first night there's like 15 of us that went in. 2 or 3 quit as soon as they locked the door on them. When the lights went out, like 6 quit. I'm out of here. Let me out. They hauled it. A few of us made it through the night, and the next morning, me and one other guy came back.
Whoa.
Wow.
And he didn't stay too long. I wound up spending way too long there. But you try and act cool, but everybody knows you're nervous. Everybody knows it. You can't. How can you not be?
Yeah. So what do you do if you can't see anything? You just hang out and.
Well, after a few years, after about a year of me being there, they got to where they left on a center row of lights.
So you find a good hiding spot until then, or what?
No, they'll tell you if something happens, you have to turn on your flashlight, hold it way out to the side,
Holy crap!
because they're going to throw batteries and soup cans at you. And yeah,
Oh my god!
it's wild. I never had anything bad happen to me. But
Thank
it was,
God.
insane. We're like
I'm like mesmerized over here. I'm like, keep saying more.
we don't even know what to say. So save any more. We can talk about the rest of the night.
most of it's filed away.
That's fine. And I wasn't pushing, man.
No. That's just interesting. Watched a documentary the other day about Angola, and it just brought back so many memories when you have
I'm gonna look it up now.
when you have the lights come on at 5 a.m. and it's still dark outside, and it's just got that feeling. And there's, the best you do, you're in Louisiana in the summertime, and they'll give you a fan. Now, it's a pretty big fan, but it's like you get a fan, and everybody's angling for the fan. I'm like, screw that, fans with me. And you could just almost feel that hot, muggy, and you liked it at night because it was cooler. But when those lights come on, 5 a.m., it's still pitch black outside, and you got all the perimeter lights. It just brought back a lot. It's like, wow, glad I ain't
You
there.
know that as soon as I get a chance, then I'm like on YouTube looking shit up about Angola prison.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's
I'm putting it on the big screen.
Yeah.
a few of them. There's what was that? The Farm, and After the Farm, 10 years later or something.
Oh my God, dude, I'm gonna be busy tonight. I'm gonna look.
Well, it used to be a plantation. It used to be a slave colony.
Crazy.
And they turned it into and it was a farm. It's a working farm, 5,000 acres. They raise a lot of food out there, and what's funny is I watch the documentaries and I know the inmates in there, and I'm like, yeah, I know which ones. Some of them are good guys, you know. Hey, you get caught up in stuff. Stuff happens. You get in a situation, wind up shooting somebody, and it was a bad shoot. You can be there. Stuff like that happens. A lot of times, it's crime of passion murderers. They're all right. A lot of them are drugs and drug related and out of their mind. And when they're not on drugs, they're fine. So you don't have many that are
Just
yeah
straight up hardcore killers.
Yeah. If you're just insane and we're gonna lock you in a cage and you're not coming out of there.
Yeah.
You'll do a long time in that cage.
Well, we need to get some popcorn. We need to fire it up on that TV in there, and Tarver can just narrate everything for us.
Yeah. Well, they've made some heroes out of some of those guys, and I'm like, yeah, that dude's an ass.
But well, anyhow, thanks for your take on the prison system.
Yeah, I don't know why I got off into that.
I don't
but
know. It was very interesting.
I'd like to hear it.
I may title this thing like
you never. You always change the title, man.
Sig Sauer and inside look at Angora prison talk with
Crappy Sigs.
Prison talk with Kevin Tarver.
Ooh.
That's going to be its own spinoff right there.
It is. So, well, guys, I think we are done for the day, but let's go ahead and give out our podcast hotline.
Yeah, call in, comments, questions, especially if you have questions regarding firearms or holsters or stuff like that. Comments about
defense stories.
Yeah, comments about good stories, self-defense stuff. Podcast hotline is going to be 1-208-696-4397. Again, it's 1-208-696-4397. Also, reach us at patriotdefense13@yahoo.com. That's the email. You can always like us, friends, whatever.
On Facebook.
Facebook, yeah, send it out there.
Share this with your friends.
Yes.
Get more subscribers. Let's grow this thing.
Don't be greedy. Share.
Share. That's right. Share it with everybody.
It's free.
Yeah.
It is free. And if we keep sharing it, it'll continue to be free. So anyhow, until then, we will try to get back together next week, hopefully. So there you go. Bye.